Mr. Minister, just today, the IPCC released a new report warning that climate change, already deadly, is about to get much, much worse. Your government has acknowledged that urgent action is needed to tackle climate change. Today, you have talked about the need to invest in infrastructure relating to climate change. We also, though, have an infrastructure bank that could be doing this work, investing in infrastructure that mitigates climate change, as well as helping communities adapt to this devastating reality. This committee, however, has heard that Canada's infrastructure bank is running on a parallel track, focused on profiteering and not helping those in greatest need. My private member's bill, Bill C-245, aims at shifting the mandate of the infrastructure bank, using public ownership to mitigate climate change, and by investing in infrastructure desperately needed by vulnerable communities, such as Indigenous and Northern communities who are already paying the price of climate change. These projects focused on mitigation, but as well as adaptation, could include the transition from diesel to green energy, to all-weather road construction, to forest fire protection, to public transit, and so on. Given the sense of urgency, once again reiterated today, will you and your government support the Bill C-245?
Mr. Chair, through you, Ms. Ashton, thank you for the question. I'm happy to see you. We've taken note, the government has not yet taken a position with respect to that private member's bill. We have a process. It's the Cabinet Operations Committee that I chair that looks at different private members' bills. We've taken note of it, but the government has made no decision yet with respect to that. I'm happy to continue the conversation with you as well, but we've certainly taken note of that private member's bill. And I recognize that the Canada Infrastructure Bank has to really step up in terms of helping not only large projects, whether they're transit projects or green energy projects in Atlantic Canada, the Atlantic Loop, which would potentially bring renewable energy to maritime provinces, for example. Those are big mega projects where the bank, we hope, can play a constructive role in Canada's fight against climate change. Your point, you represent a huge swath of Northern Canada. I've visited your riding as well a couple of times, and I think what you said is absolutely true. The tools the government of Canada has to help smaller Indigenous communities or smaller community groups, municipalities, with their climate change mitigation and adaptation needs have to be varied. So it's great that the Infrastructure Bank can buy zero-emission buses. It's great that we can work on big projects like the Atlantic Loop. But I do recognize and agree with you that there is a gap that I'm certainly happy to commit to try and close in terms of those smaller community projects. The Green Inclusive Community Building Fund, I think, will hopefully in Indigenous communities and some smaller remote communities offer at least a start in that work. But I'm happy to continue the conversation with you, including in projects in your own riding, Ms. Ashton, where we can hopefully suit up.